Number 10. Laura Lee. Beauty YouTuber Laura Lee suffered the fate of her past after a tweet resurfaced from 6 years ago. The tweet uncovered her making insensitive comments mainly about black men. The drama all started when Laura's ex-best friend Shane Dawson's fans uncovered some old racist and body-shaming tweets on her account. Laura later deleted the tweets, however, before they were deleted, fans can see Laura making fun of Chinese people and made some pretty insensitive comments towards black people. Twitter definitely wasn't impressed with the beauty star, and she later came out with an apology that stated, "I apologize from the bottom of my heart to anyone affected by my tweets." The star then went on to note that she deactivated her Twitter account because she was mad at herself for the tweets she posted in 2012, and that she wasn't the same girl she is today. She then tried to throw off being from a small town where she had grown up with no cultural education, and that is the reason she was the way she was when she tweeted the post. But none of us believe that apology, because no matter where you're from, you have the choice to be a decent human being, so make the right choice, because you never know when your past will come back to haunt you. Number 9. Olivia Jade. For those who need an Operation Varsity Blues refresher, back in May of 2020, Olivia Jade's parents both pleaded guilty to paying $500,000 to ensure Olivia and her sister Isabel were accepted into the University of Southern California. The two sisters were admitted as rowing recruits, although they never played the sport. In the following college admissions scandal, Olivia Jade in fact did lose followers and influence on her YouTube channel. She also lost out on deals with Sephora, Tresemme, Estee Lauder, and many more at this time. After being quiet for months about the scandal, Olivia came back on social media as her parents prepared their prison sentences in the scheme. In a video posted to Olivia's YouTube, she explained she was legally not allowed to talk about the scandal, and she was initially terrified to make the video when she came back. The star has since dropped out of USC with no plans to return, and finally seems to be bouncing back from the scandal. Number 8. Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen DeGeneres lost over 1 million followers after it surfaced the star created a toxic workplace environment on her show. After the television host spent years on top before being exposed for the questionable ways she treated people working on the show, this star lost more than followers, and she actually ended up losing her show. The accusations came to light when numerous employees working on the show came forward in a report posted to BuzzFeed, claiming to be working in an environment that was racially insensitive and based on fear and intimidation. Some even accused executive producers of rampant ravishment and harassment. Ellen later came out to respond to the allegations by saying she was taking full responsibility, and added she is taking the allegations very seriously, and said, "I'm so sorry to the people who were affected. I know that I'm in a position of privilege and power, and I realize that with that comes responsibility, and I take responsibility for what happens at my show." However, some viewers were still left unimpressed with the star when she made jokes about the allegations upon her return to her show.
Number 7. Gerard Piqué. In early June, Barcelona and Spain football star Gerard Piqué's high-profile marriage to Colombian star Shakira allegedly ended due to his unfaithfulness. A few days later, Shakira and Piqué confirmed that they had in fact called it quits. According to Spanish newspaper Marca, the other woman was 23-year-old Clara Chia, who was dating one of his friends at the time. Piqué was allegedly smitten the first time he saw her, and they exchanged phone numbers and started dating in secret. Now, new details have emerged that he may have been cheating on Shakira as far back as 2012 with Israeli supermodel Bar Refaeli, who also happens to be Leonardo DiCaprio's ex-girlfriend. The affair was exposed when Shakira found messages detailing their intimate encounters. When she was asked about Piqué being linked to another woman, she told Elle magazine, "I can only say that I put everything I had into this relationship and my family," and pointed out that although she chose her marriage over her career, sadly it still didn't work out.
Number 6. Jeffree Star. Jeffree Star lost followers when beauty YouTuber Cameron Lester posted to Instagram to say he was cutting old ties with Jeffree Star and Jeffree Star's cosmetics. Cameron claimed while working with Jeffree, he felt like he was the token black kid, and that he was manipulated and left feeling fearful about the whole situation. He also noted that after he began to pull his friendship with Star, Jeffree replaced him as a model in his campaign, cremated for his line. Cameron said it felt like Jeffree was sending a message and that Cameron was replaceable as a black man in the beauty industry. Later, a voice memo sent by Jeffree in response to the video was leaked online and retweeted by Cameron, where he claimed Jeffree flipped the script and made up a bunch of lies. The internet soon started to be flooded with other people's experiences with Jeffree, and one claimed he once called Gwen Stefani a very offensive word towards Jewish people.
Number 5. Jamie Lynn Spears. People have started referring to Jamie Lynn as the Britney Spears from Wish, and it's easy to see why. They've labeled her as a knockoff to her pop star sister. Jamie Lynn started her career in film and television as a child, mostly playing the younger version of Britney's characters. But she didn't receive star status until landing the lead role as Zoe Brooks on the Nickelodeon show Zoe 101. And even when she was cast by its creator Dan Schneider, it was all because she looked a lot like her older sister. The boarding school set dramedy was a smash hit and cemented a young Jamie Lynn's acting career. But little did fans know there was actually a scandal brewing behind the set, as its star was just 16 when she fell pregnant, which would have been a bombshell for the very PG show. In her memoir, Things I Should Have Said, Jamie Lynn says her family and management pulled her out of school until they could figure out what to do next. And after the 4th season of Zoe 101, the network cancelled the series. Since then, her acting career has been on hiatus, and although she briefly tried to break through as a country star, Jamie Lynn has not been successful at rehabilitating her career since.
Number 4. Travis Scott. On November 5th, 2021, Travis Scott took the stage to perform at his Astroworld event. However, he truly had no idea how this event would change his life forever. When concertgoers stormed the barriers, many innocent lives were lost and many were injured as a result of the surge. Sadly, instead of stopping the concert when Scott saw ambulances making their way through the thick of the crowd, he continued playing his set, making fans and music labels wanting nothing to do with the star anymore. Since the incident, not only has Travis Scott lost followers, but he's also lost millions of dollars from pulled contracts. He was even replaced on his Coachella appearance. The star is also currently being sued for $2 billion.
Number 3. Iggy Azalea. The Australian rapper made her US debut in 2014 with the release of her first album, The New Classic, which debuted at number 1 on the Billboard rap chart. From her collaborations with some of our favorite pop princesses to her gorgeous curves, Iggy Azalea has consistently commanded headlines all over the globe. But recently, a lot of it has been plastic surgery rumors, considering how much her appearance has changed over the years. Confirming the suspicions, the Aussie hitmaker admitted that she has had rhinoplasty. She said, "I'm not denying it. Denying it is lame. I don't think you should be ashamed if you've made a change to yourself, which is why I've spoken about the changes I've made, like with my breasts." Iggy was always pretty straightforward about her decision to have surgery, saying, "Your perception of yourself can change a lot over time, so I think it's important to wait and make sure it's the right choice. Plastic surgery is an emotional journey. It's no easy feat to live with your flaws and accept yourself, and it's no easy feat to change yourself. Either way you look at it, it's a tough journey," which is a great message to get out there, considering that there's still a lot of stigma behind just admitting to having done plastic surgery in the first place.
Number 2. Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj lost 10 million followers after her decision to pose for Russian magazine back in 2008. With many of Nicki's fans being part of the LGBTQ community and the fact that Russian laws are against the community being notoriously harsh, caused the star to face a lot of backlash. In Russia, any propaganda promoting LGBTQ relationships and relationships themselves are banned. Homophobia runs wild in the country and people are routinely extinguished when open about their sexuality. It didn't take fans long to slam the star, and one even pointed out that during the time she lost 1.2 million followers overnight, which then escalated to almost 10 million within the week. Number 1, coming in with James Charles. 23-year-old beauty YouTuber James Charles lost a mass amount of followers over the years due to many scandals, from his fallout with famous beauty gurus to some serious allegations involving the star with boys. The star found himself in the center of all kinds of internet drama, with James releasing an apology video for his YouTube channel to clear up rumors and accusations regarding inappropriate text messages he may have sent. Given the nature of the allegations, many fans and celebrities found themselves having no choice but to follow the beauty guru. In a video posted to his channel titled "Holding Myself Accountable," James addressed his fans and tried to explain why people are accusing him of acting inappropriately. When he went on to explain they were boys he flirted with and he was reckless when he messaged some he believed to be 18, after coming clean about the allegations, James Charles took a break from social media and has since returned and has been trying to repair his image. But like many celebrities in certain situations, it's going to be a hard one to bounce back from.
Number 10. Liam Payne. The former One Direction member was engaged to Maya Henry in the summer of 2020. Their romance began in 2019 when the pair was pictured together at a series of public events, and they announced their engagement the following year, and Liam proposed with a $4 million ring. But Maya first indicated there was trouble in their relationship after a fan went on Instagram and posted a slideshow of Liam hugging and kissing a mysterious brunette. The fan tagged Maya in the post, which prompted her to go off in the comments section. She wrote, "Please stop sending me these pictures of my fiance wrapped around another woman. This is not me, and it's hard enough knowing this happened without seeing it." Scandal erupted online as Liam began receiving tons of backlash for his alleged infidelity, which he adamantly denied, insisting that they weren't together at the time. Either way, the young couple eventually broke up for good that same year. If you're loving this video so far, please hit that like button, it would really help us out. Number 9. Adam Levine. The Maroon 5 frontman has been married to his Victoria's Secret supermodel wife Bahati Prinsloo for almost a decade, and the couple have 2 children together, and another one on the way. But all that came crashing down when an Instagram model named Summer Stroh went on TikTok and posted a video called "Having an Affair with a Man Who's Married to a Victoria's Secret Model," which was basically a whole video confessing that they had been in a relationship with Adam Levine for a whole year. She has also come through with a whopping amount of evidence and posted a series of DMs that Adam sent her on Instagram. To make matters worse, several months after their affair, Adam DM'd Sumner out of the blue asking if she would be okay with him naming his new baby after her. This news was perhaps one of the biggest cheating scandals of the year, and so far another 4 women have come out claiming to have been involved with the singer at one point in time. Number 8. Ned Fulmer. The internet went crazy when a video started circulating on social media of Ned Fulmer from the Try Guys kissing his employee Alex Herring at a New York City bar. Alex is actually one of the most well-known employees of the company, and over the years she's been featured in many videos. But if that wasn't bad enough, she was engaged to her fiance Will Thayer at the time, and the couple had been together for 11 years. The scandal was insane. Fans were beyond shocked that certified wife guy Ned was even capable of cheating on his beautiful wife Ariel Fulmer. He was known as a super devoted husband who loved to gush over his wife in almost every video, so he really betrayed the audience as well as his own family. As a result, he was swiftly fired from the Try Guys, and he had to put out a statement owning up to the affair, admitting to having a consensual workplace relationship.
Number 7. Will Smith. Will Smith lost a significant amount of followers after his infamous altercation with Chris Rock at the Oscars. The incident occurred when Chris made a comment about Will's wife's hair. The comment wasn't taken lightly by Jada and Will, causing Will to take the stage. The world was left stunned witnessing the event that occurred, and many were left wondering if the incident was staged or not. It was later said that it wasn't, and the Academy then came out and said they did not condone the altercation that occurred. However, they wanted to thank Chris Rock for maintaining his composure under extraordinary circumstances. They then said Will furthermore will be banned from the Oscars gala and any other Academy events for the next 10 years. Later, Will would post to Instagram to say violence is never the answer and his behavior at the award was unacceptable and inexcusable. He then said, "All jokes at my expense are part of the job, but a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear and I reacted emotionally." He then went to apologize to Chris and noticed his actions were embarrassing and did not show the man he wanted to be.
Number 6. Jason Derulo. Nearly 1 year after Jason Derulo and Jenna Frooms broke off their relationship, she exposed him for cheating on her throughout their relationship. When her comment section filled up with people accusing her of sleeping around, Jenna took to Instagram to correct the narrative, saying, "It's unfortunate my situation didn't work out because we once did aspire to be married, but maybe it's best to be single than be in a relationship and constantly be disrespected and cheated on and lied to. No one aspires to be a single mom, but if your non-negotiables are being tested, you'll never find peace in that relationship." The 28-year-old insinuated that Jason had a whole roster of women during the time they were together. She said, "If a man wants a different girl every week over his family, I'll never accept that. We will never be able to make it work work happily. I was straight up told that I should turn the other cheek. I'll never be okay with sharing a lover that I love with all my heart. If the streets come first, I can't change that. Number 5. Kesha. The singer shocked fans when she debuted her glamorous and sophisticated new look at the Studio 666 premiere in Hollywood. The 34-year-old was truly unrecognizable with a dark, short bob and a plain black dress in a major style transformation from her party girl days. Kesha wore a plunging, lace-up, short, tight black leather dress that accentuated both her chest and her legs. Her brunette hair was slicked back with natural-looking makeup. The Grammy Award winner has been known to drastically alter her appearance through the years, but her new, almost bare-faced look was a complete flip from her usual bright, eccentric style with heavy makeup and her signature long, wavy blonde hair. So making the change from blonde to brunette and chopping her hair into a chin bob length made all the difference in the world. But aside from desperately waiting for Kesha to release new music, fans are also longing for the conclusion of her lengthy legal battle with her former producer Dr. Luke, which has been ongoing since 2014. The defamation lawsuit against her seems like it's gonna go on forever at this stage, and it has really kept her career in a kind of limbo, but it's clear that she's already planning some kind of a comeback with her new style. Number 4. Sebastian Bear McLeod. Early this month, Emily Ratajkowski filed for divorce from film producer husband Sebastian in Manhattan Supreme Court after 4 years of marriage. Back in July, a source close to the model confirmed that the couple had broken up because of his infidelity. Quote, "He cheated. He's a serial cheater. It's gross. He's a dog." Although Emily hasn't spoken out directly about her personal life, she has removed both her engagement ring and wedding band and has been photographed without the jewelry for at least 3 weeks. She chose not to trash Sebastian publicly, but instead subtly confirmed the rumors by liking several tweets, including one that said, "Emrata, finally free from that man, just proves that God is actually very real. And I can't believe that little B cheated on Emrata." In truth, everyone was especially surprised that Emily got cheated on, given her insane beauty and supermodel status. Pretty soon the internet flooded with women in despair saying things like, well, if Emily Ratajkowski got cheated on, then no one is safe. Number 3. Katherine Heigl. Television medical drama Grey's Anatomy catapulted Katherine Heigl into the limelight. The thing is, she had a reputation of being extremely unpleasant to work with on set, and after trashing her most popular movie ever, she lost a whole bunch of fans. I'm talking about 2007's Knocked Up. It was not just hilarious but very well received all round, scoring an 89% on Rotten Tomatoes and bringing in $219 million at the box office against a $25 million budget. But Katherine was less than thrilled about her participation in the movie and called the film sexist, telling Vanity Fair in 2008 that she thought the movie paints women as shrews, as humorless and uptight, and it paints the men as lovable, goofy, fun-loving guys. She went on to say that she had a hard time with the film on some days because she said that her character was a B-word and a killjoy. Not only that, but Heigl's bad reputation stems largely from her decision to decline a second Emmy nomination for Grey's Anatomy in 2008. She released a wince-inducing public statement that claims she simply wasn't given the material this season to warrant an Emmy nomination. Talk about biting the hand that feeds you. Number 2. Azealia Banks. Number 2. Matthew Morrison. In late May, it was reported that the Glee star got kicked off season 17 of So You Think You Can Dance because he developed an inappropriate relationship with a female contestant. Matthew has been married to Renee Puente since 2014, but he's still decided to pursue a female contestant on the show, who has not been named, and sent her flirty DMs on Instagram. A US weekly source claimed that the messages contained sexual innuendos and were flirty to the extent that he was overstepping boundaries. Eventually, the contestant felt so uncomfortable with his line of comments that she went to producers, who then got Fox Studios involved. After they did an internal investigation, Matthew was fired on the spot. The following week, the father of two tried to recover his reputation and took to Instagram insisting that he only asked the contestant for her phone number to help her get a job as a choreographer on a different show. Yeah, I don't think anyone was buying that. And coming in at number 1, Monty Lopez. During an interview with Page 6 in early July, influencer Renee Ash claimed that she had a 5-month affair with Addison Rae's father, Monty Lopez, after he misled and lied to her about the state of his marriage with Sherry Nicole Easterling. She said, "He told me that we were gonna be together and have babies together. I thought we had something real. He told me a story of his marriage that convinced me that they were apart and in the process of getting a divorce." The 25-year-old said that she dumped Monty in early July after several other women told her that he had hit on them in person and on social media. She said, "I loved him and I believed him. When I found out about the other young girls, my heart broke. The creepy part is that Renee is just 4 years older than Addison and Monty is 46. What's even crazier is that the affair led his wife to hook up with the rapper Young Gravy, much to everyone's surprise. But the only person who must be truly embarrassed about all this is Addison Rae. Number 10. Austin Mahone. Once considered the next big thing in the 2010s, Austin Mahone was set to follow in Justin Bieber's footsteps and become a teen idol himself. But after years of hype, his music career never really took off. The singer started out by posting various covers of pop songs on YouTube in 2010, including Justin Bieber's Mistletoe, which catapulted his rise to fame. But right away, Austin made it clear that he did not appreciate the comparison, saying, "They see a young kid who sings and dances, they're like, oh, another Justin Bieber. Like, you don't even know, you don't know me, you don't know my music, you're just making assumptions." But fast forward to 2022 and Austin Mahone is nowhere to be seen in the music industry. So what gives? Well, in short, he had a falling out with his label due to poor sales of his album and had to restart his career somewhere else as an independent musician, which didn't really work out well either. In 2020, Austin made a questionable career move when he made an OnlyFans and reportedly auctioned a 10-minute video of him during alone time, which sold for $9,000. Hey, you never know, maybe he got desperate. But all in all, it's likely that the world just didn't feel like they needed another Justin Bieber. Number 9. Macklemore. When he stepped into the music scene 10 years ago, he was seen as unstoppable. Alongside his longtime producing partner Ryan Lewis, Macklemore captured the entire world's attention with his debut studio album The Heist. With record-breaking hits like Thrift Shop, Same Love, and Can't Hold Us, he firmly established himself as a socially conscious rapper and achieved big-time stardom. But in recent years, the hype around him has really fizzled out. This is in part due to Ryan Lewis's departure, because he was a critical part of Macklemore's early success. In 2017, the duo announced that they were splitting up and needed creative space from each other. Although there were no hard feelings, it's pretty obvious that Ryan's exit really impacted the quality of Macklemore's work, and there was definitely a shift in how his music was perceived by the public. But there were also some enormous changes that took place in Macklemore's personal life, because he's now a father of 3. Not only that, but he's more focused now on his charity work and community activism. So while many people seem to think that he's fallen off the face of the earth entirely, he's actually just turning his focus onto other endeavors. Number 8. Mischa Barton. In the early 2000s, she was one of the hottest stars on the Hollywood scene. Thanks to the success of the Fox teen drama The OC, the young actress was instantly thrust into the spotlight when she was just 17 years old. But after leaving the hit show in 2006, Mischa became a tabloid target and struggled to recapture her previous level of acting success. It really all happened after she was involved in several unfortunate incidents in 2007, including a hospitalization and a DUI arrest. Over the next few years, the paparazzi continued to hound her as she gained unwanted attention for things like a trip to the psych ward, a failed TV comeback, and even her fluctuating weight. She really tried to turn it around in 2019 by joining the cast of The Hills, New Beginnings, with most of the cast from the original reality series, including Heidi Montag, Spencer Pratt, Brody Jenner, and Audrina Patridge. But unfortunately, Mischa was not invited back for season 2 because, according to Brody, the actress didn't fit in with the rest of the cast. He said, "Bringing Mischa on to begin with was sort of awkward. It's a little bit upsetting because she has been planning a career comeback for more than a decade now, but she just hasn't been able to crack it." Number 7. Miley Cyrus. The 29-year-old singer and actress has lived so many lives already. She's been a Disney star, a country singer, then she moved to R&B for a while and back into pop. Miley has always been an eccentric performer. I mean, who can forget twerking against Robin Thicke at the MTV VMAs in 2013? But her whole style and aesthetic did a complete 180 somewhere around 2020 when she started embracing all things rock and roll. These days she looks completely unrecognizable with a platinum blonde mullet, metallic blue smoky eyeshadow, and a blue and white striped dress. She actually looks like an 80s rock star. The aesthetic change appears to be part of her newest musical era for her newest rock album, Plastic Hearts. It's still up for debate whether Miley is going for a more grunge or glam rock, but it's clear that she's chosen a whole nother genre for herself when it comes to not only style but music. After hearing her cover of Blondie's Heart of Glass, which was released as a single in late September, it became clear to so many that her voice is really suited to rock and roll. Alongside her cover of Zombie by the Cranberries and her own song Midnight Sky, it seems like she's really grown into her voice and found the perfect look for the genre. Number 6. Mike Myers. His name is synonymous with the hilarious and charismatic charismatic character Austin Powers. However, the actor is reportedly very difficult to work with in real life, which meant that he eventually found it quite difficult to keep starring in major films. There have been numerous reports suggesting that Myers is a nightmare on set, with some even claiming him to be a control freak and just outright grumpy. It has come to light that the actor makes tons of demands of his assistants. In fact, Myers reportedly made life a daily nightmare for the cast and crew of one of his biggest films. According to Amy Hill, who was his co-star in The Cat in the Hat, she said it was a horrible, nightmarish experience. Hill claimed that he selfishly kept everyone waiting for hours, overruled the director, and even had someone standing by just holding his personal chocolates in a dish. Quote, "It was so weird, it was just the worst, I was miserable." Another story involves a fan that offered to buy the actor a drink. After telling Myers how much he enjoyed his work, Myers allegedly just looked at him and said, "I can afford my own drinks," cursed at him and said, "Save your money for my next movie." Apart from being notoriously difficult to work with, his mean-spirited attitude towards regular people have shrunk his fan base down to a fraction of what it used to be.
Number 5. Chrissy Teigen. Chrissy Teigen is said to have felt lost after becoming part of Cancel Club. When tweets resurfaced of Christy cyberbullying Courtney Stodden, more allegations about the star started to come forward and the internet started to go crazy. Before disabling her Twitter account, the star went on to tweet one last tweet which said, "For the last 10 years you guys have been my world. I honestly owe so much to this world we created here." She then went on to note that she no longer felt like her page served her as someone who was positive, and it started to serve her negatively. Then to end things off, she told followers she believed it was finally time to call something, and the star exited Twitter. Over time, Chrissy has noted that she was mortified and sad at the woman she used to be, and that she was just an insecure troll, and continued to apologize for the incident since her return to Twitter.
Number 4. Tara Reid. There's no doubt that the American Pie star was one of Hollywood's it girls in the late 90s and early 2000s. She was gorgeous and totally fit the funny, pretty girl archetype in movies. Tara achieved real fame by playing Vicky in the hugely popular American Pie series, and she was also in Cruel Intentions, Van Wilder, and Scrubs. However, at the time of her blow-up in Hollywood, she was seen partying more and more and became less credible. Eventually, the publicity of her clubbing lifestyle led to her show on E! Called Taradise, which ended up flopping and just made things a whole lot worse for her image. From that point on, Tara would unfortunately be in and out of rehab and had trouble maintaining sobriety. The actress was also going through various issues stemming from botched plastic surgery, claiming in 2004 that breast implants and liposuction surgeries left her with disfigurements that damaged her career. She told Us Weekly, "My stomach became the most ripply, bulgy thing. I had a hernia, this huge bump next to my belly button. As a result, I couldn't wear a bikini. I lost a lot of work." She did, however, manage to nab a role in the comedy disaster film franchise Sharknado, but unfortunately that reoccurring role wasn't enough to reboot her career. Number 3. Neo. In early August, Crystal Renee Smith filed for divorce from Neo after 6 years of marriage, alleging that he had not only fathered a child with another woman, but had been cheating on her for 8 years with multiple women. She exposed him on Instagram, saying, "8 years of lies and deception, 8 years of unknowingly sharing my life and husband with numerous women who sell their bodies to him unprotected, every last one of them. To say I'm heartbroken and disgusted is an understatement. To ask me to stay and accept it is absolutely insane. The mentality of a narcissist." Neo responded on Twitter writing, "For the sake of our children, my family and I will work through our challenges behind closed doors." But the worst part was that Crystal discovered the truth just 3 months after she and her husband had renewed their wedding vows. The betrayal that she would have felt is immeasurable, particularly because in her case, the cheating had been going on for such a long period of time before she ever found out. With tongue-twisting lyricism, Azalea's debut single 212 is definitely one for the books. Pitchfork called it the 6th best song of the 2010s, and Billboard said it defined a decade. In fact, Rolling Stone placed it on the list of the 500 greatest songs ever made. The track was supposed to set her up for world domination, but these days it's hard to think of any artist that has been marred in such controversy as Azalea. Her social media presence has created scandal after scandal, and the list of people she has feuded with is so extensive that it has its own section on Wikipedia. Her celebrity beef is super random and impossible to keep track of. For instance, she went on a huge rant on her Instagram story last year, insulting Doja Cat's looks and her music, saying, "Doja makes music for 10-year-olds and is very derivative. Cute girl, but her attempts at witty East Coast Roman reloaded flows are pitiful and not in the least amusing. And yes, she looked terrible before she lost weight. And in 2018, she accused Elon Musk of investment fraud and called him a beta male who took steroids and got hair plugs to convince himself that he was an alpha. She still occasionally makes attempts to collaborate with other artists, but at this stage, it would be difficult to find anyone that would still work with her. And coming in at number 1, Hayden Christensen. He was just 19 years old when he was cast as Anakin Skywalker, the man who would evolve into Darth Vader in the Star Wars prequel trilogy. It was set to be the role of a lifetime, and somehow, despite having limited leading man experience, Hayden was handpicked for the role out of a pool of more than 1,500 candidates. But unfortunately for the young actor, the prequels garnered overwhelmingly negative reviews from critics and fans alike. In reviews, his performance was referred to as unpolished, timid, and stiff, and many people just called him a straight-up bad actor. So instead of setting Hayden on a path for more high-profile film roles, the backlash that the prequels received led the Canadian actor to fade into obscurity. But it was also a choice that he made for himself at the time, telling the Los Angeles Times, "I guess I felt like I had this great thing in Star Wars that provided all these opportunities and gave me a career, but it all kind of felt a little too handed to me. I didn't want to go through life feeling like I was just riding a wave," which is actually quite sad when you think about it. But he does seem content now with less prominent roles and actually seems to prefer life outside of the spotlight. Number 10, Zac Efron. The High School Musical star really shocked fans with how different he looked in 2021, when a video surfaced online of his face looking extremely altered. When Zac appeared on camera for a virtual Earth Day event, everyone was totally distracted by his new appearance. Not only did he no longer have his iconic baby face look, but some people suggested that he had an altered jawline and enhanced lips, and suspected that he'd had, at the very least, some Botox done. It's true that he looked a little bit puffy or possibly swollen, but of course, camera angles, makeup, and poor lighting also could have contributed to the drastically different appearance. When the video started making the rounds on social media, popular TikTok surgeon Dr. Yun suggested that Zac might have gotten oral surgery, which would explain his swollen jaw, which would happen if your wisdom teeth were taken out, or you had some kind of other intensive dental surgery. But fans were not happy about the doctor's comments and accused him of trying to capitalize on Zac's popularity to gain attention. Although he does look different now, it's not necessarily a bad thing. The actor went on both The Ellen Show and Jimmy Kimmel Live recently and just looked a whole lot more mature. In fact, he seemed to have really grown into his features in the best way possible. Number 9, Khloe Kardashian. The Keeping Up with the Kardashians star is known for being the funniest and most laid back of all the sisters. But over the years, fans have seen such a drastic change in her appearance that it can only be put down to excessive plastic surgery. And while the reality star isn't too outspoken when it comes to her past procedures, she has opened up once before about the reason behind her choice to go under the knife. Quote, "For me, everyone says, oh my gosh, she's had her 3rd face transplant, but I've only had 1 nose job and everyone gets so upset. Like, why don't I talk about it? No one's ever asked me." She also revealed that she has done injections, but not really Botox, because when she tried it, her face responded horribly, but all the surgery was probably because of something deeper. In fact, later in the episode, Khloe explained how she experienced body image insecurity when doing photo shoots with her sisters, saying, "They would receive racks and racks of clothes, and I was told by so many different stylists I was given about 2 or 3 pieces of clothing, but not to worry because I would be in the background anyway," which is pretty unfortunate because being treated like that would upset just about anybody. Number 8, Rebel Wilson. The Australian actress has been in comedy since the early 2000s, but her career really took off a decade later in movies like What to Expect When You're Expecting, Struck by Lightning, and of course, Pitch Perfect. She's always been a huge health and body positive advocate and has frequently opened up about her health journey. But the reason Rebel Wilson looks so drastically different in 2022 is that she has actually been working on her health and fitness since late 2019, and she has seen massive results. In a candid interview with the BBC, she talked about the differences in how she's being treated now. Quote, "Sometimes being bigger, people don't necessarily look twice at you. Now that I'm in good shape, people offer to carry my groceries to the car and hold doors open for you. And you think, is this what other people experience all the time?" So even though Rebel seems to be a lot happier now, she's also pointed out something that's really worth discussing. Her health journey has been a very public one, so it's great that the actress has decided not to hold back when talking about all the challenges that she's faced throughout. And she's certainly become an inspiration for others to make positive changes to their health. Number 7. Zooey Deschanel. Best known for 500 Days of Summer as well as the hit Fox series New Girl, Zooey was a huge star during the high points of her career. But after New Girl came to an end in 2018, her acting career has slowed down considerably. In fact, she's been largely absent from our screens over the past couple of years and doesn't seem to have any major roles lined up. So what happened? Well, as we know, from 2011 to 2018, Zooey played Jess, a sweet, quirky teacher who moves in with 3 strangers in Los Angeles after a terrible breakup. And although the role landed her an Emmy and Golden Globe nominations, it also pigeonholed her as a performer and made her harder to cast in roles that differed too drastically from Jess. So between New Girl and 500 Days of Summer, the fact is that many of Zooey's characters fit the definition of the manic pixie dream girl, which is a term describing those quirky female characters with a Disney princess mindset who only exist to give the male lead a new lease on life. So when people started criticizing that character trope in Hollywood, Zooey received a lot of backlash for almost exclusively taking those roles. And now that it's not as popular as it used to be, studio heads are way more hesitant to cast her. Number 6. Adele. Ever since her music blew up in the early 2010s, the powerhouse singer has released hit after hit. Her albums 21, 25, and 30 became instant successes, with all 3 topping number 1 on nearly every worldwide music chart. But fans were really shocked in 2020 when Adele made a post on social media that showed her completely transformed look. In fact, she joked about the change in her opening monologue for SNL, saying, "I know I look really different since you last saw me, but actually because of all the COVID restrictions, I had to travel light and I could only bring half of me, and this is the half I chose." The 34-year-old looks extremely happy these days, and she's recently opened up about the healthy lifestyle changes she made that helped her lose 100 pounds in 2 years. But she knows that plenty of negative comments have surfaced about her new look, and she told British Vogue, "My body has been objectified my entire career. It's not just now. I understand why it's a shock. I understand why some women especially were hurt. Visually, I represent a lot of women, but I'm still the same person." So it's clear that Adele is very much herself, just with a newfound confidence. Number 5. Ime Udoka. Actress Nia Long had been in a relationship with Celtics coach Ime Udoka for well over a decade, and the two share a 10-year-old son. Just 2 weeks before they planned to move their family to Boston, where they were house hunting, Nia learned about his betrayal. It turns out her fiance was having an affair with a married front office staffer. It was Ime who reportedly came clean to the actress about the affair because news of his infidelity was about to be made public. On September the 22nd, the Boston Celtics announced that the coach had been suspended for the 2022 to 2023 season for violating team rules. Nia then released a statement addressing her heartbreak, saying, "The outpouring of love and support from family, friends, and the community during this difficult time means so much to me." Ime also released a statement saying, "I want to apologize to our players, fans, the entire Celtics organization, and my family for letting them down. I am so sorry for putting the team in this difficult situation, and I accept the team's decision." Number 4. Linda Evangelista. The Canadian fashion model was undoubtedly one of the top supermodels from the 1990s, and is regarded as one of the most accomplished and influential models of all time. In fact, she's been featured on over 700 magazine covers. But Linda hasn't really been seen in public very much in the last 5 years or so, and fans recently found out why. In September last year, she took to Instagram and revealed that she had undergone cool sculpting treatment to her face, which she says left her unrecognizable, as it allegedly caused fat cells in her face to multiply. Quote, "To my followers who have wondered why I have not been working while my peers' careers have been thriving, the reason is that I was brutally disfigured." She went on to say that the procedure actually did the opposite of what it was promised. In fact, what happened to her was a rare but serious side effect of cool sculpting, and the model said the treatment not only destroyed her livelihood, but sent her into a cycle of deep depression, profound sadness, and the lowest depths of self-loathing, which is extremely sad when you consider just how much it would have affected her self-esteem.
Number 3. Kylie Jenner. In 2019, Kylie Jenner lost millions of followers. Thankfully for the star, it was only temporary as there was a glitch in the system. Twitter took to saying they were aware of an issue that was causing a change in account follower numbers for some people right now, and they were working hard to resolve the issue as quickly as possible. Twitter also noted the bug was completely unrelated to inactive accounts or bot accounts being deleted. Luckily for Kylie, her loss of followers was due to a malfunction passion rather than a scandal, and she was even able to escape losing followers after attending Travis Scott's Astroworld concert.
Number 2. Sharon Osbourne. The former The Talk panelist is no stranger to plastic surgery, and it really seemed to work with her over the years considering her appearance was never altered too drastically. But all that changed in late 2021 when she got a facelift that, in her own words, ended up making her look like a cyclops. Quote, "I had a full facelift done in October, and I looked like one of those effing mummies that they wrap with bandages." She told the Sunday Times that the whole thing hurt like hell, but what was even worse is that all the pain never really paid off for her. Sharon said that after the more than 5-hour surgery, she was left looking horrendous, and she even told the surgeon, quote, "You've got to be effing joking. One eye was different to the other. I looked like an effing cyclops. All I need is a hunchback." It sounds funny, but it would have been a nightmare for her. Even her husband, Ozzy Osbourne, was totally against the results. Fortunately, she was able to undergo reconstructive work, and she's now a lot more satisfied with her appearance. And coming in at number 1, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. Of all the famous twins in Hollywood, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen are probably the most mysterious. The former child stars announced an abrupt and permanent retirement from acting more than 15 years ago, and ever since then they've kept a low profile. But the twins are still hard at work on their fashion line and other business endeavors. But when photos surfaced over the years of Mary-Kate looking drastically different from Ashley, fans began speculating that one or both sisters may have had plastic surgery. People were pretty rude when it came to targeting the appearance of both of them, with some outlets reporting that Ashley underwent a botched facelift and that Mary-Kate looked a lot older. In fact, one plastic surgeon who spoke to Life and Style magazine insisted that the changes could have come from other factors, such as nicotine products or lifestyle changes. The sisters looked surprisingly similar when they were younger, which caused most people to assume that they were identical, but they're actually fraternal twins, which might help explain their physical differences now. The girls did have a brief chance to get back on the screens recently in the revival of their original show Fuller House, but they just weren't interested in participating, which seemed to disappoint a lot of fans. But it only served to make them more mysterious as they continued to live ever so private lives.